Hello, I'm Essay, your AI essayist. Please note that all content, audio and video in this presentation are AI generated. As AI can sometimes produce inaccuracies, I encourage you to verify any factual information presented. With that in mind, let's begin.
Here is the essay, Robert Harding Whittaker's 1969 paper, New Concepts of Kingdoms of Organisms, represents a monumental shift in biological taxonomy. This essay provides a comprehensive, section-by-section evaluation of Whittaker's core arguments, examining the evidence he presented, the implications of his proposed five-kingdom system, and the subsequent reception and revisions of his work. The focus remains intensely on the paper itself, its internal logic, its scientific milieu it sought to Section 1. The problem of existing classifications. Whittaker begins by addressing inherent limitations within existing biological classifications. He observes a prevailing dichotomy, a simplistic division between plants and animals, an arrangement demonstrably inadequate when confronting the microbial world. This system, he argues, fails to capture the evolutionary relationships and fundamental differences exhibited by microorganisms, specifically noting the challenges encountered when attempting to categorize organisms exhibiting characteristics of both plant and animal life. The assumption that all life neatly fits into these two categories creates inconsistencies and impedes a true understanding of evolutionary relationships. Whittaker emphasizes the need for a classification system reflecting a more nuanced and accurate representation of biological diversity, one that incorporates advancements in cellular biology, biochemistry, and evolutionary theory. He contends a new framework is essential for organizing and interpreting the increasing wealth of information about the structure, function, and evolutionary history of living organisms, proposing a system that aligns better with the emerging picture of life's interconnectedness and diversification. Section 2. The emergence of fungi as a separate kingdom. Whittaker's proposition of fungi as a distinct kingdom forms a central tenet of his argument. He meticulously details the unique properties of fungi that separate them from both plants and animals. Fungi, he explains, possess a unique mode of nutrition, absorptive heterotrophy, distinguishing them from the ingestive heterotrophy of animals and the photoautotrophy of plants. He highlights their cellular structure, consisting of chitinous cell walls, which differ significantly from the cellulose-based walls of plants, a point often understated in previous classifications. Whittaker additionally emphasizes the filamentous growth habit of fungi, forming hyphae and mycelia, structures fundamentally different from the tissues and organs found in plants and animals. Reproduction, within fungi, characterized by spores and diverse sexual and asexual mechanisms, further underscores their divergence from other kingdoms. Whittaker's comprehensive analysis establishes fungi as a distinct evolutionary lineage, warranting their recognition as a separate kingdom, rectifying what he perceives as a significant oversight in prior classifications. He posits this separation not as an arbitrary division, but as a necessary acknowledgement of fungal biology's unique trajectory. Section 3. The Protist Kingdom and the Evolutionary Origins of Multicellularity. Whittaker's concept of the protista encompasses unicellular and simple multicellular eukaryotic organisms, serving as a bridge between the monoprokaryotes and the more complex multicellular kingdoms. He argues for its necessity due to the polyphyletic nature of these organisms. He acknowledges the diverse range of life cycles, nutritional strategies, and cellular organizations found within the protista, yet maintains their fundamental characteristic of being relatively simple in structural complexity compared to plants, animals, and fungi. Whittaker posits that the protista represents a crucial stage in the evolution of multicellularity, with different protistine lineages giving rise to the other eukaryotic kingdoms. He emphasizes the evolutionary flexibility inherent within the protists, allowing for experimentation with different forms and functions, ultimately leading to the diversification of multicellular life forms. He details the variations displayed in their morphology, from amoeboid forms to flagellates to ciliates, each reflecting distinct adaptations to specific ecological niches. This conceptualization of the protista highlights its pivotal role in the evolutionary history of eukaryotes, emphasizing its significance in understanding the origins of multicellularity. Section 4. The Monera Kingdom and the Prokaryotic World. The Monera, comprising prokaryotic organisms, occupies a foundational position in Whittaker's classification. He emphasizes the significant differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, including the absence of a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles in prokaryotes. He points to the structural simplicity of the prokaryotic cell as a fundamental distinction, highlighting the presence of a single, circular chromosome and the lack of internal compartmentalization. Whittaker further emphasizes the metabolic diversity exhibited by monomers, including autotrophic, heterotrophic, and chemotrophic modes of nutrition, surpassing the metabolic capabilities of other kingdoms. He details their crucial roles in biogeochemical cycles, such as nitrogen fixation and decomposition, underscoring their ecological significance. This kingdom, encompassing bacteria and archaea, represents the most ancient and diverse lineage of life on Earth, according to Whittaker's framework, and requires distinct taxonomic recognition. He acknowledges the vastness of the prokaryotic world, recognizing it as the source of many key evolutionary innovations, including photosynthesis and the building blocks of eukaryotic cells. Section 5 Metabolic Diversity and the trophic levels. Whittaker emphasizes the role of trophic levels and metabolic diversity in shaping the organization of the kingdoms. He highlights the importance of understanding how organisms obtain energy and nutrients in their respective ecosystems. Plants, as primary producers, form the base of the food chain through photosynthesis, converting light energy into chemical energy. Animals, as consumers, obtain energy by ingesting other organisms, occupying various trophic levels depending on their diet. Fungi, as decomposers, play a critical role in recycling nutrients by breaking down dead organic matter. Whittaker emphasizes the interconnectedness of these trophic levels, demonstrating the dependence of organisms on one another for survival. He introduces the concept of energy flow through ecosystems, demonstrating how energy is transferred from one trophic level to the next, with a significant portion lost as heat at each transfer. This analysis of trophic levels provides a framework for understanding the ecological relationships within and between the different kingdoms, highlighting the interdependence of life on Earth. He suggests that these metabolic roles strongly justify the separation of the kingdoms based on their primary mode of nutrition and energy acquisition. Section 6. The phylogenetic considerations. Whittaker acknowledges the importance of phylogenetic relationships in constructing a robust classification system. He stresses the need for a classification system that reflects the evolutionary history of organisms and their genealogical connections. While acknowledging limitations in the phylogenetic data available at the time, he makes an attempt to incorporate the available information into his proposed system. Whittaker proposes an evolutionary scenario where the Moa gave rise to the Protista, which in turn diversified into the other eukaryotic kingdoms. He suggests that the Protista represents a paraphyletic group, meaning it does not include all descendants of a common ancestor, as certain Protestan lineages evolved into fungi, plants, and animals. Whittaker acknowledges the challenges in resolving the precise phylogenetic relationships among the different kingdoms, but emphasizes the importance of considering evolutionary history when constructing a classification. He anticipates advancements in molecular phylogenetics would provide more refined insights into these relationships, leading to further revisions and improvements in the classification of life. He sees the five-kingdom system as a stepping stone towards a more accurate and comprehensive representation of evolutionary history. Section 7 Addressing criticism and alternative classifications. Whittaker preemptively responds to potential criticisms of his proposed five-kingdom system. He acknowledges the artificiality inherent in any classification system, as nature rarely presents neat, discrete boundaries. He anticipates debates regarding the placement of certain organisms into specific kingdoms, specifically those exhibiting characteristics that blur the lines between kingdoms. Whittaker addresses the potential for alternative classifications, acknowledging the validity of different perspectives and the ongoing evolution of scientific understanding. He stresses the importance of a flexible and adaptable classification system, one that can accommodate new discoveries and evolving understanding of evolutionary relationships. Whittaker emphasizes the heuristic value of his system, suggesting that it provides a useful framework for organizing and understanding biological diversity. Even if it is not a perfect reflection of evolutionary history, he encourages further research and debate, recognizing that the classification of life is an ongoing process of refinement and revision. Section 8 The legacy and influence of the five-kingdom system. Whittaker's five-kingdom system exerted a profound impact on the field of biology, shaping the way scientists understand and classify life on Earth. The system provided a more comprehensive and accurate representation of biological diversity than previous two-kingdom classifications, particularly in its recognition of the fungi as a distinct kingdom. It spurred increased research into the fungi and protists, leading to a greater understanding of their biology and evolutionary history. The five-kingdom system served as a foundation for subsequent classifications, including the three-domain system proposed by Carl Woese, which further revolutionized our understanding of evolutionary relationships by recognizing archaea as a distinct domain of life separate from bacteria. Whittaker's emphasis on trophic levels and ecological interactions influenced the development of ecosystem ecology. Highlighting the interconnectedness of organisms and their environment, he enabled future researchers to build upon the foundations he established by creating a springboard for further exploration into the intricacies of life's organization. Section 9 Revisions and Refinements after 1969. Following its initial publication, Whittaker's five-kingdom system underwent revisions and refinements, reflecting advancements in scientific knowledge and changing perspectives. The recognition of archaea as a distinct domain of life by Woese, based on ribosomal RNA sequence analysis, necessitated a reevaluation of the Monera kingdom. Subsequently, the Monera was divided into two domains, bacteria and archaea, reflecting the fundamental differences between these two groups of prokaryotes. This division consequently impacted the placement of certain organisms within the kingdom system. Molecular phylogenetics provided more refined insights into the evolutionary relationships among the eukaryotes, leading to adjustments in the classification of the protista. Some protistine groups were reclassified, reflecting their closer evolutionary relationships to other eukaryotic kingdoms. These revisions demonstrate the dynamic nature of biological classification, reflecting the ongoing process of scientific discovery. Such iterations illustrate the flexibility of the system and its ability to assimilate new information and adapt to evolving understandings. Section 10 Problems persist in the five-kingdom system. Despite its widespread adoption and influence, Whittaker's five-kingdom system faced inherent limitations and unresolved issues. The protista, in particular, retained its status as a polyphyletic group, lacking a clear evolutionary definition. The kingdom comprised a diverse assemblage of unicellular and simple multicellular eukaryotes, some more closely related to plants, animals, or fungi than to other protists. This lack of phylogenetic coherence rendered the protista a problematic category, serving as a repository for organisms that did not fit neatly into the other kingdoms. Furthermore, the five-kingdom system did not fully address the complexity of evolutionary relationships at the microbial level, particularly within the archaea, where horizontal gene transfer can obscure phylogenetic signals. The limitations of the five-kingdom system underscored the need for further research and more refined classification schemes. The recognition of the issues within offered a pathway for the creation of novel systems that addressed these deficits. Section 11 The three-domain system and its impact. Carl Woese's introduction of the three-domain system, based on ribosomal RNA sequence analysis, marked a significant departure from the five-kingdom system. Woese demonstrated that archaea represent a distinct evolutionary lineage, separate from bacteria and more closely related to eukaryotes. This discovery led to the division of life into three domains: bacteria, archaea, and eukarya, fundamentally altering our understanding of evolutionary relationships. The three-domain system provided a more accurate representation of the deep evolutionary history of life on Earth, resolving some of the ambiguities and inconsistencies inherent in the five-kingdom system. The recognition of archaea as a distinct domain challenged the traditional view of prokaryotes as a homogeneous group, highlighting the diversity and complexity within the microbial world. This innovation led to new understandings of the tree of life and reshaped the landscape of biological classification, supplanting the five-kingdom model as the authoritative model. Section 12 Evaluating long-term significance. Whittaker's new concepts of kingdoms of organisms stands as a pivotal contribution, even considering subsequent shifts in classification. While superseded by the three-domain system in many respects, it established essential conceptual groundwork. His emphasis on trophic levels, metabolic diversity, and evolutionary relationships remained profoundly influential in ecological and evolutionary thinking. The recognition of fungi as a distinct kingdom permanently altered our appreciation for their biological uniqueness and ecological importance. Whittaker's work stimulated significant research into the fungi and protists, expanding our understanding of their diversity and evolution. Though no longer the definitive model, the paper's impact on biological thought persists, as its conceptual framework remains relevant to our current understanding of the organization of life. In conclusion, Whittaker's 1969 paper represents a transformative shift in biological taxonomy. While subsequent discoveries have led to revisions and alternative classifications, his system laid the foundation for a more nuanced and comprehensive understanding of biological diversity. His emphasis on metabolic diversity, trophic levels, and phylogenetic relationships continues to influence ecological and evolutionary thinking. Robert Harding Whittaker's legacy endures as a visionary who challenged conventional wisdom and paved the way for a more accurate and complete picture of the tree of life. His conceptual model was not a final destination, but rather a vital stepping stone in the ever-evolving journey to understand the interconnectedness of life.
We really appreciate you tuning into this AI-powered presentation. Our goal is to push the boundaries of AI in content creation, and your input is invaluable. If there's a particular subject you'd like to see us tackle next, or if you have suggestions on how we could fine-tune our AI's creative prompts, please don't hesitate to leave your ideas in the comments section. We're excited to bring you more unique content very soon.